Hey everybody, Unstable Gamer here, and welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time here, thanks so much for stopping by. Definitely take a look around. Let me know what you think. Today we're going to be talking about Disney Mirrorverse and my October tier list. This is my first tier list I put together since early beta, so there's a lot to talk about here, especially now that we have Rift Raids in the game. So let's go ahead and jump into that. But first, before we do, if you're just now finding this channel and you want to stay up to date with this and other games, consider hitting that subscribe button so you don't miss out. All right, and welcome back. Let's just go ahead and dive into this tier list. So like I said, haven't put a tier list together since beta, but now that we have Rift Raids, we're definitely going to want to know which Guardians do very, very well. Now with that said, we know that there's 2 maps for Rift Raids. More are probably coming. You can probably count on that. But the 2 Rift Raids that we've seen were the same map. So the experiences and everything that we have are just based on that one map. We know that Sentinels are going to change, and we know traits are going to change. So we'll see kind of how that evolves, bouncing back and forth between the 2 maps and eventually more and more maps. Hopefully there's some commonalities with some of these Guardians. Otherwise, really the advice would be to build absolutely everybody. So let's go ahead and take a look at this. D tier. These are Guardians you're really not going to want to spend too much time on. If you have them, if that's all you've got, use them until you get somebody better. But take them up to around level 20, level 30. You're going to get to a point in the game where you have some resources to play around with. So definitely get familiar with them. Learn their kits a little bit, but you're not going to use them really too often. Now the C tier, a little bit more situational. A lot of these characters can be used in a bunch of different areas of the game. Towers, dungeons, even Rift Raids, especially the lower levels of Rift Raids. But once you get higher up in Rift Raids, you're going to want some of the Guardians that just that have kits that are put together just a little bit better or synergize better with some of the other Guardians in the game. So a lot of some of these characters aren't too bad. I mean, Stitch is pretty decent. I like Mulan. Belle has worked out for me for quite a while as well. I know that Maleficent has been used in some of the higher tiers of the current Rift Raid, so we'll see how she works out as well. The B tier, again, similar to C tier, but these Guardians here are going to have kits that are put together a little bit better, but not as good as some of the A and the S tier characters here. Like Minnie. Minnie's great. She does a good job. She's a single target Guardian, does quite a bit of attack, and her attack does punch up quite a bit if she sticks with one Guardian. So I know that using her on Gatekeeper would definitely be pretty beneficial. Cruella de Vil, now she's a new character, a new Guardian that's coming to the game. Actually, you can get her in the event store. She's got some famed crystals there. I was lucky enough to get her to a 5-star. She's a ranged character, and she's got quite a bit of support to her. She's really, where her kit shines is in crowd control, so rooting and stunning. She also has Dizzy, which reduces the chance for your opponent to hit your Guardian. She's got a lot of usability and utility there, and she does very well. I was bouncing back and forth on whether to put her on A tier or B tier. I just went a little conservative, put her on B tier for right now. Now that I have her unlocked, I'll get some more experience with her, but I do see some potential for her in Rift Raids and just kind of controlling the battlefield a little bit more. She doesn't do a ton of damage. She has some opportunity for some damage spikes, but really kind of where she is and where her kit kind of puts her with the crowd control piece, I felt B tier was probably a pretty safe place, at least for now, to put her. A tier, these are a lot of Guardians that you're going to want to take up into level 50 and 60, some even to level 70. Gaston, I would take him up to level 70 or higher. He's a great character, and you can also see he's got a circle around him, which means I used him quite a bit in Rift Raids. He does very well. He's got his bleeds. He's got his roots. He's a great character. I know he's been at the top of tier lists for a long time. If you have him, invest in him. He will definitely do you well. A couple of the Guardians here that did pretty well was Violet. She did pretty good in some of the Gatekeeper battles that I was a part of. I know Hero is used quite a bit as well. So there's a lot of great Guardians in this tier. If you have any of them, definitely don't be afraid to put your resources into them and build them up. Now, S tier, now we need to take a look at this. Most of the circles are around S tier characters. And really, to be honest with you, that's kind of to be expected. These are characters that have great kits. They synergize well with other characters, and they just do a great job. You've got Mr. Incredible that does a great amount of damage. he he helped me so much through Rift Raids, Gatekeepers, as well as Sentinels and Minions. I mean, he worked all over the place. And then obviously his defense is great as well. Zerg was definitely the MVP. He did more damage than anybody else. Again, he's just a freaking turret. You just go back to the other side of the screen and you just mow people down. He does a fantastic job. You got some great support here with Scrooge, Mickey, and Skelly. There's a lot of utility amongst those three. Mickey and Scrooge were the two that I used the most. I did end up using Skelly once we got into the higher tiers, but more often than not, it was Scrooge and Mickey. A lot of great utility there. Attack ups, focus ups to help with your crits, damage shields with Mickey, stuns with Mickey. I mean, there's a lot of great utility with these Guardians, so definitely if you have them, invest in them. Simba did a great job with Gatekeepers. Really, the only place that I used him was on the Gatekeepers, and he helped me take down every single Gatekeeper that we came across, except for tier 18. But really kind of what shined with him in his kit was his special. You go ahead, I went ahead, controlled him first, went, attacked the Gatekeeper until my special was up, hit my special, then I got my invulnerability, and the damage that the Gatekeeper did to me maxed out my armor bar. And so I had maxed armor bar there a couple different times. I would go through that rotation once or twice, and then I'd switch over to Zerg, and then Zerg would take him down the rest of the way, kind of just whittle him down as he's focused on Simba. So Simba worked out very well for me. Will he work out as we continue to climb the different tiers and get past tier 18? Maybe, maybe not, but at least for right now, these are the Guardians that worked very well for me and was able to help me be successful in Rift Raids. Now, again, like I said, as we see the different maps come out, the different Sentinels and the different traits, we'll see how this adjusts. But I was very excited. I was very excited for Rift Raids. I love the game mode. I love the challenge of putting together different teams, and I do love the fact that if you have a wider roster, you have more options there to put some good teams together. So that is my tier list. Just kind of want to do a quick rundown of what this looks like and what went into it, kind of what the different tiers symbolize. It's pretty standard when you take a look at tier lists, but these characters, especially in S and A tier, are great characters to invest in and are going to help you in multiple game modes. The towers, the dungeons. Dungeons are important because you got relics in there now, right? And obviously Rift Raids are important because we got T4 gems in there. They're working through some reward issues and things like that. I know that there's a lot of feedback going around Rift Raids right now, but it is going to be a game mode that you're going to want to consistently farm and do well in. It's very competitive, I think, which is a lot of fun as well. But it's a game mode you're not going to want to ignore because you need those T4s in order to level past, level 70. So if you want to max out your Guardians, you're going to need to take advantage of Rift Raids. And hopefully this helps you out a little bit as far as which characters to use, which ones were most successful for me. And as we get, like I said, into the other Rift Raid maps, we'll see kind of how that works out and what other Guardians might float to the top. And with that, I'm very interested in your thoughts. What do you think about the tier list? What worked really well for you in Rift Raids? How high did you get? Did you get past tier 18? I know some people got up to like tier 26, which is awesome. But especially in some of those higher tiers, what Guardians did you turn to most? That kind of helped you work through those different tiers and take down those Gatekeepers. Be very interested in your thoughts about all of this. All right, everybody, that is what I had for you. As always, I want to thank you all for taking the time to watch the video. If you liked it, make sure to hit that like button and share your thoughts and questions in the comments section below. Take care, everybody. We'll talk to you next time.